On the morning of May 29, 1453, a 1,000-year-old empire was about to die. Constantinople, the heart of the Romans, the strongest walled city in the world, was surrounded by an unstoppable army. This is the story of how one city fell, and how the world changed forever. For over 1,000 years, Constantinople was the center of the Byzantine Empire. It was a beacon of civilization, a city of immense wealth, profound culture, and deep religious significance. Its defenses were legendary, centered around the mighty Theodosian walls. These weren't just walls, they were a triple-layered fortress of stone, dotted with formidable towers, and protected by a giant moat. For centuries, people believed the city was invincible, that it could never fall. But by the 1400s, the once vast empire had crumbled. It was a shadow of its former self, with only the capital, the great city itself, remaining as the last bastion of a fading glory. The jewel of the world was now isolated and vulnerable. On one side stood Emperor Constantine XI Palaeologos. He was a brave and noble ruler, committed to defending his people and his legacy. But his resources were perilously thin, with only a few thousand soldiers to guard the extensive walls against a coming storm. On the other side was Sultan Mehmed II, a young, ambitious, and brilliant leader, just 21 years old. He was a man driven by destiny, determined to make history and fulfill a prophecy cherished by his people. Mehmed desired Constantinople above all else, not just as a conquest, but as the crowning jewel of his empire. He was ready to claim it at any cost. Soon, the might of the Ottoman army descended upon the city. Over 80,000 soldiers, a vast and disciplined force, laid siege to Constantinople. They brought with them a revolutionary weapon, a true game-changer in the art of warfare. A giant cannon. This colossal piece of artillery, forged by a Hungarian master engineer named Orb, was designed for one purpose: to shatter walls that had stood unbreached for centuries. Day and night, the ground trembled as the super cannon fired. Its massive stone projectiles slammed into the Theodosian walls, shaking the city to its foundations. Each explosion was a deafening roar, a relentless drumbeat, counting down the city's final days. Constantinople had a crucial secret defense. A massive iron chain, stretching across the mouth of the Golden Horn Inlet, blocked any enemy ship from entering the city's harbor. This naval barrier seemed impenetrable. But Sultan Mehmed was not a man to be deterred by obstacles. He devised a plan so audacious, so unbelievable, that it bordered on the impossible. He ordered his navy to be dragged overland. His men laid down massive wooden logs, greased with fat, and physically hauled dozens of ships up and over the hills of Galata, bypassing the chain entirely. They then relaunched the ships directly into the Golden Horn, behind the Byzantine defenses. The defenders were utterly shocked. The city, once protected by the sea, was now under attack from two sides. For 50 grueling days and nights, the people of Constantinople held on with incredible courage. The defenders, a mix of professional soldiers, armed civilians, and foreign volunteers, fought with everything they had. Every night, under the cover of darkness, they worked tirelessly to repair the breaches in the walls, patching up the damage caused by the relentless cannon fire. They displayed a spirit of defiance that was truly heroic. But the grim reality was that the numbers were overwhelmingly against them. At dawn, on May 29th, the final Halad assault began. The great cannons roared in a final, earth-shattering symphony of destruction. Waves of Ottoman infantry charged the weakened walls. And then, a moment of tragic misfortune. A small gate, a poster known as the Kukaporta, was somehow left unlocked. Elite Janissaries discovered the opening, poured inside, and raised their standard on the walls. Constantinople had been breached. Emperor Constantine XI refused to flee and abandon his people. In his final moments, he removed his distinctive purple royal regalia, choosing to die not as an emperor, but as a soldier among his men. He charged into the thick of the fighting on the front lines, disappearing into the chaotic His body was never definitively found. With the defenses broken, Ottoman forces poured into the city like a flood. Chaos and desperation filled the streets, homes, and even the sacred churches. The 1,000-year reign of the Eastern Roman Empire had come to a violent and tragic end. Soon after the conquest, Sultan Mehmed II, now known as the Conqueror, made his triumphant entry into the city. He rode to the magnificent Hagia Sophia, the grandest cathedral in Christendom, and was struck by its beauty. He ordered it to be preserved and converted into a mosque, a symbol of his victory and the new order. Constantinople, renamed Istanbul, became the new, splendid capital of the burgeoning Ottoman Empire. The fall of this great city sent shockwaves across Europe, marking the definitive end of the Middle Ages. Its fall propelled the world into a new era of exploration, as Europeans sought new trade routes to the east, and it helped spark the intellectual revival of the Renaissance. The fall of Constantinople was more than just the end of a city. It was the end of a world, a pivotal moment that closed one chapter of human history and opened another. It was a testament to ambition, innovation, and the tragic, heroic last stand of an ancient empire. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more powerful history videos. Thanks for watching.